Hello everyone, we are on page 13 of the theory book and we are looking at the notes in the bass clef and where they're found on the keyboard. But before we do that, I have drawn an extra stave over here just to remind you about the notes in the treble clef. So remember that middle C was written in the treble clef at the bottom with a little ledger line. That is middle C. And what I want to point out today is that when we have the bass clef and we write a note with a ledger line at the top of the bass clef, it is exactly the same note on the keyboard. So if I were to sing this note as la, this note is also la. It is exactly the same note. It looks different because this one is at the top of the bass clef and this one is at the bottom of the treble clef. But when played on the piano or on the violin or any instrument, it is exactly the same note. And then remember that we said the bass clef is for the lower notes. So our left hand, this hand, would play the notes down here, the lower notes on the keyboard. And therefore, we read in the bass clef for our left hand on the piano. So we go backwards in the alphabet, C, B, A. And as we go backwards in the alphabet, we go down in pitch, and therefore the notes are going down on the stave. So the top line of my bass clef is the note A. One step up is B, and with a ledger line, there we have C. If I then were to take over, swap hands with my right hand here, C, D, E, like that, I would then read the notes in the treble clef and go up from there, C, D, E, and so it would go up forwards in my alphabet and up in pitch. So at the bottom, you have an opportunity to write them yourself. So we're going to draw our bass clef. Remember, we start. This is missing a line. I don't know why. And we start 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth line. Curl round, 2 dots on either side of that fourth line. And then I'm going to draw the note A on the top line. And remember here, this is unicorns. If you remember my first video, unicorns are great. So there's A. Or you could work it out. Here's your donkey D. There are the donkey D ears. That's donkey D. And now we go backwards in the alphabet. So before D comes C. Before C is B. And before B is A. So we can work it out with the alphabet. That is the note A. Above the line is the note B. And when I draw a ledger line, that is the note middle C. There are many C's on the piano, but this one written here is middle C.